Hi everyone. I play a lot of games against opponents with ratings over 2000, but many of them play the opening like they are rated 700. Okay, so I want to implore my opponents to please learn some opening theory, play some mainline openings, follow the opening principles, stop playing garbage. It's not a lot of fun for serious chess players to face that stuff day after day after day. So in this game, I was white. I don't pretend to have played perfectly, but I attempted to do my best with the opening, and my opponent didn't. Okay, e4, e5, knight f3, bishop c5. So already on move 2, my opponent goes wrong. He just gives up his e5 pawn for no reason at all. Much better move, by the way, is knight to c6. You're also developing a piece towards the center, and you're protecting your pawn on e5. Okay, bishop c5 is nonsense. It just gives up a pawn. Okay. But queen to h4 is played after that, and I guess my opponent doesn't think I'm going to see the mate on f2. Okay. But he is forking. Not only is he attacking f2, but he's attacking e4 as well, so he has that fork. The engine, by the way, suggests I just give up the e-pawn and keep developing here with d4 attacking the bishop, and then queen takes e4, bishop to e3, and probably d5 is a good move with the understanding that if I take the bishop, then he gets my knight. So white has a strong edge in this position according to the engine if we turn it on. Yeah, it's like plus 2.4. But I didn't play like that. Instead of playing d4, I played queen to f3, and the engine tells me that's about a plus 0.9. Well, sometimes you don't want to play the engine move even if it scores higher because you might not fully understand it. It might be more complicated. You want to make simple human moves as long as you're not relinquishing an advantage. And I don't think queen to f3 relinquishes any advantage here. I'm protecting against the mate, I'm protecting the e4 pawn, and incidentally, I'm threatening the f7 pawn. So what does my opponent do? He plays knight to f6. Pretty good move. I'm going to turn the engine off here. So now he's realizing he should develop more pieces, and he's protecting against queen takes f7. He's getting ready to castle, and he is attacking e4 again. Okay, but his queen is really misplaced here, and his bishop on c5 is just vulnerable to moves like d4. Okay, d3 protects the e4 pawn that was under attack. d6, good move, attacks my knight, drives it away, and opens a diagonal for the light squared bishop. Knight c4. c6, I probably would have castled there, or perhaps played bishop to g4, developing a piece, but maybe my opponent wants to push his pawn to d5 and he's supporting that push. Okay, h3 was probably a nervous move on my part. I shouldn't have played it. It's not necessary. I was protecting against the move bishop to g4, which would come with a tempo on my queen. But my queen is perfectly fine. I could slide it over to g3 or f4, for example. So not necessary, but not a disaster. The engine still says, yeah, I have an advantage, plus 1.5 or so. Okay, so h3 wasn't warranted, but boy was h6 not warranted. I have no idea why my opponent played that move. I couldn't put a bishop on g5 anyway. The queen has that square covered. There's no back rank issues here, so it's just a waste of a move. Okay, so don't waste moves in the opening. Every tempo is precious. Okay, I play c3 intending to expand with d4. And my opponent makes the move d4 possible. He helps me out here by moving his knight away. You don't generally want to move your pieces backwards while you still have other pieces that haven't been developed yet. Probably a much better move was to castle or bring your bishop out or your knight out, but don't move your pieces backwards. That helps me out because that knight was pressuring the e4 pawn, and this just allows me to push d4, and I have no worries on e4 anymore. Not only am I driving the bishop away, but the bishop will no longer be protecting d6. So he drops the bishop back. I take on d6 with check, and now the game's over. Okay, the game's over due to bad opening play. I'm attacking the bishop on c8, and the only way he can protect it is to move his king to d8, but that allows this fork. Okay, and then my opponent moved his king to c7. It didn't really matter, but that just makes the game finish even quicker with bishop to f4 check. And it's over. All you can do is give up another piece here, or give up the queen, say. So my opponent resigned in only 12 moves. I don't mean to pick on anybody for playing badly. I know I play badly, but my point is many people are purposefully neglecting to even try to play a good opening or to follow opening principles that they've learned. Some people are just playing well below their rating in the opening. Okay, I was watching Ben Feingold streaming the other day, and he said, oh no, not this guy again. He plays the opening like he's 1200, but then he plays the middle game like he's 2900. And that's what I feel like against a lot of my opponents. Even when I'm playing a 2200 player opponent, 2200 rated opponent, I see these garbage openings, but then I get outplayed anyway because they're just better than I am at chess. But imagine how much better they would be if they played the opening strongly as well. Anyway, that's my rant. Thanks for watching the video.